southern Vermont. We've had a lot of this lately. We're very saturated out there, and unfortunately, we're going to have some slow-moving thunderstorms that are going to come through in a little bit later on today and this evening that could lead to some additional flooding concerns over all of southern Vermont, all the 4 southern counties of Vermont. A lot of the flooding so far has been focused most severely in Windham and Bennington County. There is definitely the chance that this will move up. Also, I think actually the worst, some of the potential worst flooding is looking like maybe into Rutland and also into Windsor County this time. Although all of us are under the gun here and all of us have been very wet lately. So let's take a look at radar. We can see what the problem is here. So we've got low pressure system and warm front that's moving through. If you've been outside today, you've noticed we've gotten much more humid. The cool, crisp air that we had yesterday, the Canadian air, has unfortunately gone away. And with the soup is coming another cold front and a bit of an area of low pressure. And you can see we've got thunderstorms bubbling up to our west. Some of these are strong to severe. I don't think the severe weather threat's going to be real high for us, but unfortunately, the slow-moving nature of these thunderstorms over very saturated ground over southern Vermont will continue to be a problem. So in terms of the impact for today's thunderstorms, rainfall impact is high. We're going to talk about amounts and potential amounts and things we need to worry about going forward. Flooding, there's an enhanced, so basically I wouldn't quite put the flooding potential in the high category, but definitely in the enhanced. It's definitely possible, and we're going to talk about some of the things you can look for to see if that's going to happen. And then wind, there's a slight chance that some of us will have some gusty winds, nothing too big of a deal. I don't think anything, a couple very isolated power outages from that, but really not the problem with these storms. It's really all about the rain and the flooding potential. So timing, 4 p.m. for most of us through about 9 p.m. It's not going to rain that whole time, but it could rain for a couple hours. We're looking at the same kind of rain we saw on Thursday, where we could get 2-3 inches of rain in a worst case scenario in a couple of hours, maybe even an isolated 4-inch amount. So what kind of numbers are we looking for to start having problems? An inch is probably not a big deal, even if it comes quick, but anything above that, especially anything over 1.5 inches to 2 inches that comes in an hour or an hour and a half, certainly get to 3 and 4, and you're going to have problems much like we had the other night. What kind of problems did we have? We had flooding issues, culverts, washouts, things like that. I think the mainstream rivers are okay unless we get to some widespread 4 and 5 inch amounts, which I don't think is going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. Not entirely impossible, but I don't think we're going to see issues on things like the Battenkill or on this Saxons River or the Black River or the West River, things like that. I don't think those rivers, for the most part, are going to have big issues. Although we'll have to see what the Army Corps of Engineers has to do on, like, the West River in order to back water up and in other places as well. Sometimes that causes issues within their land, mostly at campgrounds this time of year. So, anyways, I don't think that's going to be a huge issue unless you happen to be camping. I don't know why you'd be watching this video if you're camping. Quite frankly, I'm not sure why you'd want to be camping tonight. But anyway, not great for all of us. I would suggest not traveling tonight if you don't have to. And if you're in a place that often gets water into the basement or something like that, I'm sure you've already got your sump pumps going, ready to go and everything like that. But if you're in a place where you get water in your basement, or if water runs through your yard, sometimes you get really heavy rain, you should be prepared to take whatever normal steps you do when that happens. If that doesn't normally happen at your house, really just stay home, stay off the roads, because there's definitely a chance you could have places where water is over the road. You'd have gravel and mud coming over like we did a couple of nights ago with that. Wouldn't be unexpected to see some places have to shut roads down for a day or something like that to get things cleaned back up. So just be prepared for that kind of weather. I know this is the last thing you want to hear right now, but I want you to be prepared for it. So tonight, after about 5-6 o'clock at night, or when it starts to rain, just head home, stay there, stay safe. And give the road crews a chance. It's kind of like snow. Give them a chance to clean up anything that does happen. The fire department's time to get out there and flag anything that happens. If you do happen to be out and driving and you see water rushing over the road, don't drive through it. It's not worth it. It does not take that much water to push a car off the road. Best case scenario there, you're probably losing a vehicle. That's a very expensive insurance bill. Worst case scenario, your life's in danger. Don't do that. It's just not worth it. Also, just make sure that you are paying attention to, if you do live in a place where water comes up around your house, just keep an eye on that. And if you need to seek higher ground, just know what your plan is if that needs to happen. I don't think it's going to be super widespread, but it is definitely possible. So in terms of storm timing potentials, here we can see we're up in far northwestern Rutland County, Fairhaven, Hubbardton, Rochester, at about 3:30 this afternoon. I think we're in the central, basically the center part of the 4 counties here. Arlington, Peru to Heartland by about 5:30, and we don't really make it with the thunderstorms till about 7:30 down in Halifax, Brattleboro, and Dummerston. These are slow-moving storms, so unfortunately it's going to rain for a while pretty heavy. Kind of final things, where do I think the highest threat of flooding is? I think it's actually just north of where it's been before. I think I'm looking through, unfortunately, Manchester, which got hit really hard the other day, I think is under the gun again. I'm thinking places like Peru potentially, Mount Holly maybe, up through into Heartland and places like that. As we get through central Windsor County. So you're going to have to you're going to have to be prepared. Although I would say anywhere really in southern Vermont, it could be under the gun. So again, if you have a rain gauge out there, if you just happen to notice it's raining, like it's been a thunderstorm for over an hour, it's time to start taking any precautions you think you might need to take. It's also time to stay inside. If you haven't before, I would encourage you to subscribe to my videos here. I obviously do videos when the weather is most impactful, and also I try to do forecasts during the summer, definitely every Friday. I try to have a forecast for the weekend. Sometimes we get Monday morning forecasts, work week forecasts out during the summer, sometimes not. During the rest of the year, certainly in the fall, winter, and spring, we always get the Monday morning forecast out as well. So subscribe to my videos on YouTube so you get a chance to see those. You can also obviously follow me on social media. That's the other way to get my videos. And if you're interested, I do have some people who support what I do here, help provide some of the finances to make sure that the graphics and things like that are up to snuff. And so I appreciate them. We're going to give them a shout out now. And also, if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can follow the link in the description below. Again, hopefully this will not be as big a deal as it was on Thursday. Hopefully everybody ends up with, an inch and a half, and it's really not that big a deal. But I want you to know about the potential. And I'll be around on social media. You can ask questions certainly on my Facebook, through my Facebook page, or on Twitter. You can ask them on Instagram. I'll try to get back to those as well if you have questions. So otherwise, thanks for joining me. Hopefully everybody stays safe out there tonight. If you see that heavy rain coming down, head home, stay home.